Hi everyone, welcome to the online class Kilora. I'm Lamanya. So in this class we are going to understand about e-way bill. So what do you mean by this e-way bill? E-way bill is an electronic way bill. So it is an electronic document which required for the movement of goods from one location to another within a state or from one state to another in India. So it is generated on a e-way bill portal and includes details such as goods being transported, the sender and the recipient, and the vehicle used for the transportation. This e-way bill was implemented as a part of goods and service tax regulation in India to track the movement of goods and ensure the compliance with a tax law. An e-way bill is required for the transportation of goods valued at over a certain threshold amount, which varies depends on whether the document is interstate or intrastate. This e-way bill is an electronic way bill of movement of goods to be generated on a e-way bill portal. A GST registration person cannot transport good in a vehicle whose value exceeds 50,000, like a single invoice, bill, or a delivery channel, without any e-way bill that is generated on e-way bill gst.gov.in. So, this e-way bill helps in tracking the movement of goods and ensure the transparency in the supply chain. So let's understand this e-way bill overview of this e-way bill. First, let's understand the key features of this e-way bill. The first one is requirement. An e-way bill is required for the movement of goods with the value exceeded 50,000 within a state, that is intra or between the different state, that is interstate. For example, suppose a business in Mumbai is sending a consignment of electronic worth 60,000 to another business in Delhi. Since the value of goods exceed 50,000 and the movement is interstate, an e-way bill must be generated for the transportation, right? This is how this e-way bill is required. And the next one is generation. It is generated electronically on a e-way bill portal, so by the supplier, recipient, or a transporter of the goods. With the help of this e-way bill gst.gov.in. For example, a supplier in Pune wants to send a shipment of textile to a recipient in Bangalore. The supplier log into the e-way bill portal, ensures the shipment details, that is invoice, recipient detail, or a transporter information, and generates this e-way bill electronically. So this is how they generate this e-way bill. And the next feature is detail includes. Here, detail includes the e-way bill contains information such as name, goods and service tax identification number of the supplier and recipient, and also will have a details of goods being transported, vehicle number, and transporters information. For example, a e-way bill of a shipment of furniture from Hyderabad or to Chennai would include information such as supplier GSTN, recipient, that is GSTN, invoice number, recipient and quality of goods, vehicle number, and a transporter ID. These are the details should be involved in e-way bill. The validity is also one of the feature. Here, the e-way bill has a validity period based on a distance of the goods are being transported. For example, let's take an e-way bill is valid for 1 day for every 100 kilometers traveled. The next feature is exemption. Certain goods and transportation mode are exempted from the e-way bill requirement, such as goods of low value or a goods being transported by a non-motorized convenience like this. For example, if a business in Bangalore is transported a fresh produce worth of 10,000 to the local market, it might be exempted from gathering an e-way bill because the value is being below 50,000 and the goods are being transported intrastate, means within the state. So this can be exempted. And the next one is document requires. Documents required to generate this e-way bill, you need the details such as invoice or a bill of supply, transport, documents number and vehicle number, etc. For example, a business in Jaipur is sending a marble slab to a client in Mumbai. To generate the e-way bill, the business would need to provide an invoice, the transport document number, that is a good receipt, and a vehicle number is very important for the documents required. And the last point is compliant. Here, this compliant is a transporter must carry the e-way bill during the transportation of goods. Officially can inspect the e-way bill to ensure the compliance. For example, while transporting the construction material from Ahmedabad to Surat, the transporter carries the e-way bill in electronic form. If an official stops the vehicle and requests the e-way bill, the transporter can present it electronically for verification. So this is how the features of e-way bill works. Let's understand the benefits of this e-way bill. There are three important benefits. One is it is useful for tracking, and it is an ace for transportation, and it facilitates trade. This tracking is it provides a way of track goods and monitor their movement, helping prevent stack aviation. For example, a company in Chennai ships a large consignment of machinery part to a client in Coimbatore. With the e-way bill system, the company can track the shipment movement in real time and monitor its journey until it reaches the client. This helps ensure timely delivery and enables the company to provide accurate update to the client. So the next one is Ace of transportation. Here, it simplifies the transportation process by allowing the creation and verification of e-way bill online. For example, a wholesaler in Lucknow wants to transport the clothing items to various retailers across the state. By generating this e-way bill online, the wholesaler can quickly create all the necessary documents for the transportation. So this streamlined process and avoids the delay in causes a manual paperwork or inspection at a click points. And the next one is facilitate trade. Here, facilitate trade is nothing but by streamlining the movement of goods, it facilitates the smoother trade operations. For example, a business in Delhi which exports an electronic goods to buy in Kolkata. By using the e-way bill system, the business can expedite the transportation process and facilitate a smoother trade experience, right? So this e-way bill ensures the compliance with the tax law and also reduces the risk of delay or penalty during the shipments. This is how this e-way bill system looks like. So here in the transaction details, the transaction type will be given, that is outwards or inwards. And when it comes to the subtype, there will be it is a supplier or a export or a job work or a SKD or CKD or a recipient not known, for own use, exhibitions or fairs or line sales or offers for our others. You can select what subtype will be this transaction for, and the documents type will be given, that is various options will be given here, so you have to select on this documents type. And the next one is document number. You have to enter the document number in it and the document date. You can adjust the date. There are various option in it, and these things will come in the transaction details. And for the bill from, here you have to enter the name, and goods and service tax identification number should be entered, and state, address, place and pin code. All this includes in bill from. And for the bill to, and in the next topic, in a bill 2, we we include the same thing, that is the name, GST identification number, and state, address, and place and pin code. This bill from and dispatch from will be, and the bill to and the ship to will be having the same information will be included, like name, state, address, place, pin code, GST, and identification number, both. And when it comes to the item details, you have to enter the product name, description, HSN, that is I'll explain in the next slide, and the quantity and the unit, value, taxable value in rupees, and tax rate should be entered, and the total amount or taxable amount should be entered, and CGST amount, SGST amount, IGST amount, and cess amount, and total value should be entered, invoice value should be entered. And these all includes in item details. And in transportation details, the transportation name, transportation ID, and approximate distance will be included. And in the part B, the mode and the vehicle type and the vehicle number and transporter document number and date will be entered. Mode, it includes like road, rail, air or ship. Vehicle type will be regular or over dimension cargo. So after entering all these types, you have to submit it. How to generate this e-way bill? There are 5 steps to generate this e-way bill. The first step is registration. User may be registered on the e-way bill portal. As I told you, e-way bill gst.gov.in. In this website, we can go and register. And then the next step is login. So we have to log in this e-way bill portal using a credential. And the next step is enter details. Here, inputting the details of goods being transported, such as invoice, recipient information, transporter information, and vehicle number. All these details should be entered. And later, we have to generate it. So, once the details are provided, generate this e-way bill, and at last we have to share this. The generated e-way bill can be shared with the transporter and the other relevant parties. So this is how we need to register an e-way bill. So this e-way bill system is an important component of GST regime in India, aims at streamlining the transportation of goods and ensuring a compliance with the tax regulations. So here are the few components of e-way bill. So the first one is e-way bill number. It is one of a unique 12 digits identification number which is assigned to each e-way bill with its generated. This number serves as a reference for the entire document and used for tracking the shipments. And for example, let's take for example EWB 1234567891001 it includes a unique 12 digits number that identifies the e-way bill for a specific shipment of goods. Here the number always starts with EWB. So the next will be date and time of generation. Here, the date and time when the e-way bill is generated and issued, the timestamp provides an information on when the transportation process begins and helps ensure timely tracking and validation. So let's have an example. Generated on April 25th, 2024 at 12:30 a.m. This time stamp records when the e-way bill was created. And the next component is GSTIN of shipper. Here, that is goods and service tax identification number of the supplier who is shipping the goods. It uniquely identifies the shipper in the GST system. For example, let's take a GSTIN identification number that is 29 ABCD E 1234 F2 Z1, something like that. So this GSTN IN of supplier in Karnataka who is sending a consignment of goods. So they are called a consignor. And the next component is supplier name, means a consignor name. Here, the legal name of the supplier who is sending the goods. This is used to verify the identification of supplier and legism- inform the legitimacy of the transaction. So, for example, ABC Electronic Private Limited, a legal name of a supplier shipping electronic goods. And the next one is supplier address. Here, the physical address of a supplier from whom from where the goods are being dispatched. This includes the street address, city, state, and postal code. Example, number 45, Electronic Street, Bangalore, Karnataka 56001. The supplier's address. This is how the supply address includes. And the next one is GSTN of recipient, that is goods and service tax identification number of the recipient. Your goods and service tax identification number of a recipient are consignee of a goods. This identifies the recipient in the GST system and is necessary for the compliance and tracking. For example, the GSTN number will be given and the recipient in Delhi who is receiving this shipment. will be the GSTN of the recipient. And the next one is legal name of recipient or consignee. Here, the legal name of the recipient and the consignee receives the goods. It verifies the identification of a party receiving the shipment. For example, XYZ Traders, a legal name of the recipient receiving the shipment. The legal name of the recipient will be XYZ Traders or something else. And then the next one will be recipient address. Here the recipient address is the address of the recipient or a consignee where the goods are being delivered. The street address, state, city, and postal code. For example, the recipient address will be different, like 100 Market Road, Delhi 11001, the address of the recipient where the goods are being delivered. And the next component will be location of delivery. Here, the location of delivery, a specific location where the goods are to be delivered. This could be different from the recipient address, especially if the goods are to be delivered to a project site or warehouse. For example, warehouse number 3, industrial area, Delhi, or a specific location where the goods will be delivered will be location of delivery address will be given. The next one is invoice channel number. Here, the invoice channel number, the reference number for this invoice or a channel associated with the shipment. This is important for linking the e-way bill to the financial transaction and records. For example, an invoice or a channel will have a 6-digit number with INV letters. The invoice number associated with the shipment of goods. This is how the invoice number and channel number will be given. And the next one is date of invoice or channel. Here, the date on which the invoice or channel was issued. This date helps verifying the timeline of the transaction and ensure the accurate record keeping. For example, issued on April 24, 2024, the date when the invoice of the shipment was generated. And the next component will be overall worth of a product being transported. Here, the total value of this goods being shipped as is specified in the invoice or a channel. This information is important for the complying with GST regulation and for verifying the accuracy of shipment. For example, let's take 1,50,000, the total value of goods were transported as specified in the invoice. So this is how the overview worth of the product being transported. And the next one is HSN code. This HSN code which refers harmonized system of nomenclature. This harmonized system of nomenclature code for a good being transported. So this code classifies the good according to the international standards and is used to customize and used to custom and tax purpose. For example, um, let's take this HSN code will be with a 4-digit number for an electronic component being transported. So the next component will be reason for transportation. This reason for transportation here, the reason for transporting the goods such as sales return, or a job work or other purpose, or for a fair competition, any festivals, etc., and other purpose. This internet information helps clarify the purpose of the shipment and ensure the accurate categorization. For example, sales indicates the goods are being transported for the purpose of sale transaction. And the next component is transporter specifies. Here this transporter specifies is details about the transporter, which includes the transportation ID and the mode of transportation. For example, it can be road, railway, air, and sea. This information helps tracking the information movement of goods and identifies the party responsible for transaction. For example, transporter ID will be TRI123 something, and the vehicle number, which includes KA05AB1234. The mode of transport will be road. This details identifies the transporter and the vehicle used for the transporting the goods. And the last component will be goods receipt number. Note: here, the document which is issued by the transporter acknowledging the receipt of goods from the supplier. This note serves as a proof that the goods have been handed over to the transporter and are now in transit. So, for example, here this goods receipt number will be GRN number, GRN, and the numbers will start, and a goods receipt note issued by the transporter acknowledging the receipt of goods from the supplier. So these are the few components together provides a comprehensive overview of shipment and its journey from the supplier to the recipient. So we can ensure the proper documentation, tracking, and complying with GST regulation. So these are the components of e-way bill. Let's revise once again. E-way bill number, date and time generation. It should be will be one of the component, and the GSTN of a supplier, that is goods and service tax identification number, and the supplier name and the supplier address, and the GSTIN of recipient, and the legal name of the recipient or a consignee of the good, and the recipient address. It can be a recipient address or a consignee address, and the location of delivery, and the invoice or a channel number, and the date of invoice or a channel, and the overview of the worth of a product being transported, and HSN code, as I told, HSN number, that is harmonized system of nomenclature, and the reason for the transportation, transporter specifies, and goods receipt note. These are the components of e-way bill. So this e-way bill is used to provide a detailed information about the shipment, which includes who is involved and the goods being transported and the logistic of the transportation process. So in this class, we understood the meaning of this e-way bill and the history of this e-way bill and the features of it and the important benefits of this e-way bill and how to generate an e-way bill, and also we understood the components of e-way bill. So this is the basic information of this e-way bill. In next class we'll understand the how to generate the e-way bill in Tally and what are the requirements we need for this e-way bill, and what are validations for it, and what are the things includes in this e-way bill. Let's understand each and every one.